my mom and my sister.
Fear of the dark.
We're all our own individuals trying to navigate through this rugged terrain of life. Our very perceptions and comprehension on the reality that surrounds us cultivates the will to live. The experiences, the social norms, and the traditions merge us together through relatability to our fellow man. Us as human beings tend to strive to reform our images to that of a higher status to be deemed quintessential in society and amongst our peers. In some cases, this notion can often lead us down a dark slope of madness. Not being self-aware in the midst of the madness can be the start of more sinister ulterior motives. They say honesty has a beautiful and simplicity about it. There shouldn't be any ulterior motives, no hidden messages, and absence of hypocrisy, duplicity, political games, and verbal superficiality. As honesty and real integrity characterize our lives, there will be no need to manipulate others. In the case of Kathy Vu, you'll witness the shameful tale of beguile, homicide, and dishonesty. Stay tuned. Kathy Vu is a Houston-based social media influencer that had a genuine love for the colors pink and Hello Kitty, and she even had an actual kitten that looked exactly like the popular character. Her content revolved around inspirational videos that included working out, home decor, and relationship advice. Unfortunately, she didn't take heed to her own advice. In March of 2023, Vu was arrested in connection with the murder of 2 men and was charged with attempting to tamper with evidence by purchasing cleaning products to clean up the crime scene, reported by VN Express International. At the time, the 23-year-old is on house arrest while her boyfriend and his friend had been captured and charged with capital murder. The Cat Vu Archives TikTok account has been monitoring the situation with Vu and managed to snag some of her videos before the account disappeared. In one particular video, Vu is showing off a laptop her boyfriend and suspect Polly Fan bought the day of the murders.
One thing that's really sweet about my boyfriend is that he thinks that he's a bad gifter, so he always overcompensates his gifting and actually gets me really good things. He saw my raggedy ass 8-year-old MacBook and replaced it for me. This is my birthday present. I'm so grateful.
Although Vu is not being accused of participating in the crimes, she is being charged with assisting in the cleanup. According to the police, reports gathered by her TikTok account, Vu purchased hefty bags, Clorox bleach spray, and hydrogen peroxide spray after the murders took place. Officials also found suspicious texts between Fan and Vu from that day. In one particular text, Fan is asking Vu to lock her garage. Not soon after, she texts him, "Everything is in my trunk." The report also said that the police believe Fan and Vu were communicating before, during, and after the capital murder in preparation for the uses of her garage and luring one of the victims into the garage in order to commit the act of murder. They also believe the items she purchased were used to clean up the crime scene. At the time of the allegations, Vu was out on bond and was held on a 24-hour house arrest. The day in question was January 27, 2023. The Houston police were called to the house for a welfare check by a neighbor who heard the occupant's dog barking all throughout the night. The neighbor also told the officials the occupant's car had been left running in the garage, and when they looked into the window, they saw blood in the house. HPD was called to the 700 block of West TC Jester on Friday, January 27th. When they went to Vu's home, they found the body of a 35-year-old Dana Rizdal along with several cardboard boxes filled with marijuana packaged in airtight wrappings, reported Click to Houston. It was believed that Rizdal was robbed while first being lured to Vu's residence. Rizdal and his business partner were commercial marijuana farmers who ran a legal dispensary in southern Oregon who were owned by Fan. Rizzo's white Ram 3500 pickup truck was missing, but the premise that was still running in the garage belonged to his business partner, 37-year-old James Gerard Martin III. His body was later discovered, and Randall's truck would be found 3 days later. Both men had suffered from multiple gunshot wounds. Through a very thorough investigation, police identified Paulie Fawn and Jaden Nguyen as prime suspects who had fled to Vietnam, and they were later caught and expedited back to the U.S. along with Vu, who are all now currently still awaiting trial. During interrogation, Vu said Martin had made threats against several people, including her boyfriend, over a debt of $40,000 from a drug deal that did not go according to plan, reported BN Express International. She also included that if anything had happened, it was probably as self-defense.
It's okay to be independent, but don't make that the main reason why someone should date you. When I navigated dating before I met my boyfriend, I literally used to think that I had to prove to the people that I dated that I didn't need much from them. Oh, I make my own money, I have my own car, my own apartment, I pay my own bills. It won't be hard to date me or take care of me. And then I realized the only men that you attract by proving that you don't need much are bums. They foam at the mouth when they find out that you don't need much from them to be happy. The only person I was hurting by not requiring much from my partner is myself. Bum-ass men love women that are really independent because most of the time this hyper-independence comes from some type of trauma. I grew up with my mom being the main breadwinner of my family, and so I navigated dating thinking that I had to take care of everything and prove to my partner that I already have everything taken care of. They don't have to do much for me. No wonder I never got fucking flowers from anybody I dated in the past. Do not make yourself digestible for whoever you're dating. Take up space. Be as irritating as you want to be, because I do not want to go through relationships dumbing myself down to make myself convenient for others anymore. Before I did the inner work and before I unlearned some of these beliefs, there was a reason why I kept attracting bums. I kept dating the same people just with different faces because of this hyper-independence.
New at 10, it took several months and 9,000 miles for police to track down two men wanted for a gruesome double murder in the Heights area. You might remember some of the wild details. One of the victims, James Martin, was found dead in the trunk of a car days after it was towed to an impound lot. And police say a large amount of drugs were found inside the home on TC Jester. Thousands of dollars in cash were in the freezer. Paulie Fawn and Jaden Nguyen were identified as the suspected killers. And in March, we told you how investigators believe they fled to Vietnam. Turns out they did, and were just recently returned to U.S. custody. They have not made it back to Harris County yet, but when they do, we expect to learn more about how they were found. A third suspect, a woman named Kathy Vu, was also charged with evidence tampering in this case. Police say she helped clean up the crime scene. She was caught in part because of an HEB receipt from the day of the murder showing she had picked up cleaning supplies. The other victim in this case was Dana Rysdale. Investigators believe the motive was drug-related.